Welcome to Grow Bible Knowledge with Bible Quizzes. How well do you know the book of Genesis? Bible quiz on Genesis. Here we have 21 Bible questions to test your knowledge. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. That will help us reach more people to study the Word of God. Let's dive in. Question 1. Why did Joseph's brothers hate him? A. He was more intelligent. B. Their father loved him more. C. He had a coat of many colors. The correct answer is B. Their father loved him more. Joseph was the firstborn of the woman Israel loved, and a child of his old age. Israel showed his preference for Joseph unwisely, and it caused hatred. A coat of many colors made things even worse. Genesis chapter 37 verses 3-4. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. Also, he made him a tunic of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Question 2. Which of Joseph's dreams did his father rebuke him about? A. The sun, moon, and the stars. B. The sheaves in the field. C. The cows by the river. The correct answer is A. The sun, the moon, and the stars. Genesis chapter 37 verses 9-10. Then he dreamed still another dream, and told it to his brothers and said, Look, I have dreamed another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. So he told it to his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the earth before you? Jacob understood this one very well. He knew it could bring differences among his children, so he had to come in between them. Question 3. Where did Joseph find his brothers when Jacob sent him to check on them? A. Hebron. B. Dothan. C. Shechem. The correct answer is B. Dothan. Genesis chapter 37 verse 17. And the man said, They have departed from here, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Question 4. Who delivered Joseph from his brothers' evil thoughts of killing him by putting him in the pit and planning to hand him to their father? A. Simeon. B. Judah. C. Reuben. The correct answer is C. Reuben. Genesis chapter 37 verse 22. And Reuben said to them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit which is in the wilderness, and do not lay a hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hands, and bring him back to his father. Question 5. Why did Reuben lose his inheritance as the firstborn of Jacob? A. His father did not love him. B. He defiled his father's bed. C. He failed to protect Joseph from being sold. The correct answer is B. He defiled his father's bed. Genesis chapter 49 verses 3-4. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. He went up to my couch. When reading Genesis chapter 35 verse 22, it says, And it happened, when Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah his father's concubine, and Israel heard about it. His bad action led him to not receive the blessing. Question 6. To whom did Joseph's brothers sell him? A. Ishmaelites. B. Potiphar. C. Moabites. The correct answer is A. Ishmaelites. Genesis chapter 37 verse 28. Then Midianite traders passed by, so the brothers pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And they took Joseph to Egypt. This one-day experience became a turning point for Joseph. He changed from being a petted child to being a man. He became courageous and thoughtful. Now it was only him and God. Question 7. Who was the second woman recorded to bore twins in the Bible? A. Ruth. B. Rebecca. C. Tamar. The correct answer is C. Tamar. Genesis chapter 38 verses 28 to 29. And so it was when she was giving birth that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and bound it on his hand, saying, "This one came out first." Then it happened, as he drew back his hand, that his brother came out unexpectedly, and she said, "How did you break through? This breach be upon you." Therefore his name was called Perez. Question 8. What did Potiphar see in Joseph that led to huge trust? A. He was comfortable in Egypt. B. God was with him. C. Other slaves trusted him. The correct answer is B. God was with him. Genesis chapter 39 verses 3 to 4. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all he did to prosper in his hand. So Joseph found favor in his sight, and served him. Then he made him overseer of his house, and all that he had, he put under his authority. The Lord was with Joseph. That made him to be prosperous. He had obtained favor before God and men. He was a blessed slave. Question 9. Why was Joseph thrown into prison in Egypt? A. All the Hebrew slaves were in prison. B. He wanted to escape and go to Canaan. C. His master's wife lied and said he wanted to rape her. The correct answer is C. His master's wife lied and said he wanted to rape her. Joseph refused to do what was wicked before God's eyes. Potiphar's wife wanted to sleep with him, but he refused. She therefore lied and said Joseph wanted to rape her. The story is found in Genesis chapter 39 verses 7 to 21. Question 10. How was Joseph treated when he got into prison? A. He was in charge of other prisoners. B. He was locked away alone. C. He was a cook. The correct answer is A. He was in charge of other prisoners. Genesis chapter 39 verses 22 to 23. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever they did there, it was his doing. The keeper of the prison did not look into anything that was under Joseph's authority, because the Lord was with him, and whatever he did, the Lord made it prosper. Joseph prospered even behind prison bars because God was with him. Question 11. Whom did Joseph interpret their dream and Pharaoh restored him to his duties? A. Chief baker. B. Chief butler. C. Prison keeper. The correct answer is B. Chief butler. Genesis chapter 40 verse 21. Then he restored the chief butler to his butlership again, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. Question 12. Who dreamed of the 7 fat cows and the 7 thin cows? A. Joseph. B. Nebuchadnezzar. C. Pharaoh. The correct answer is C. Pharaoh. Genesis chapter 41 verses 1 to 3. Then it came to pass, at the end of 2 full years, that Pharaoh had a dream, and behold, he stood by the river. Suddenly there came up out of the river 7 cows, fine-looking and fat, and they fed in the meadow. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them out of the river, ugly and gaunt, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the river. Question 13. Who interpreted Pharaoh's dream? A. Magicians. B. Joseph. C. Wise men. The correct answer is B. Joseph. Genesis chapter 41 verses 25 to 26. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, "The dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good heads are 7 years. The dreams are one." Question 14. King Pharaoh put Joseph in charge in Egypt and gave him a new name. Which name did he give to him? A. Zaphnath-Paneah. B. Akhenaten. C. Ahmose. The correct answer is A. Zaphnath-Paneah. Genesis chapter 41 verse 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah, and he gave him as a wife Asenath, the daughter of Potisee, priest of On. So Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. Question 15. How old was Joseph when he started to stand before Pharaoh? A. 30 years old. B. 40 years old. C. 25 years old. The correct answer is A. 30 years old. Genesis chapter 41 verse 46. Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Question 16. What came into Joseph's mind when he saw his brothers come to buy food for the first time in Egypt? A. How they sold him. B. Dreams he had of them. C. His father's love. The correct answer is B. Dreams he had of them. His dreams were now making sense because he was in authority in Egypt. Genesis chapter 42 verses 8 to 9. So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. Then Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them, and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." Question 17. Who did Joseph keep in Egypt as a pledge so that his brothers could bring Benjamin? A. Simeon. B. Naphtali. C. Levi. The correct answer is A. Simeon. Genesis chapter 42 verses 19 to 20 and 24. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house. But you, go and carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me. So your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And he turned himself away from them and wept. Then he returned to them again, and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them, and bound him before their eyes. Question 18. What did Israel do before he went to Egypt to see Joseph? A. Took a blood-stained coat of many colors. B. Contacted his brother Esau. C. Offered sacrifices to God. The correct answer is C. Offered sacrifices to God. This is where Israel got the confirmation from God in a vision that he could go to Egypt. Genesis chapter 46 verse 1. So Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. Question 19. What was the occupation Joseph's brothers were supposed to state when Pharaoh asked them? A. The carpenter. B. The shepherds. C. The potter. The correct answer is B. The shepherds. Shepherds were considered an abomination in Egypt. Genesis chapter 46 verses 33 to 34. So it shall be when Pharaoh calls you and says, "What is your occupation?" that you shall say, "Your servant's occupation has been with livestock from our youth even till now, both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. Question 20. Where did Joseph give his family a place to settle? A. Goshen land of Ramesses. B. Bethany. C. Gabbatha. The correct answer is A. Goshen land of Ramesses. Genesis chapter 47 verse 11. And Joseph situated his father and his brothers, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Question 21. When Israel blesses Joseph's sons, to whom did he say his seed shall become a multitude of nations? A. Jalam. B. Ephraim. C. Manasseh. The correct answer is C. Manasseh. Genesis chapter 48 verses 19 to 20. But his father refused and said, I know, my son, I know. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. So he blessed them that day, saying, By you Israel will bless, saying, May God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And thus he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Thank you for taking the quiz. How many questions did you get correct? Please drop a comment below. See you on the next one. Stay blessed.